everybody, Grant with Renew Auto here. Doing a quick little driving video of the Maserati Gran Turismo. Just show that there's no error lights or strange noises or clunks in the suspension or anything like that. Get the headlights on, all the lights across the entire interior work. You might notice a yellow light on the gauge cluster. That's for the passenger airbag off. For some reason, Maserati wants you to always know that the passenger airbag is off. But I'll do another video showing that when you have somebody in the seat, that goes away. So that's just strangely the way they designed it. I'm not quite sure why. Well, Italians. But anyways, navigation, radio works. Let me.
95.9 The Hawk.
All the power windows. Probably see all the cracks in this asphalt as we go over, and there aren't any kind of like sharp clunks or anything like that. If you've got lower control arm bushings that are out, you'll kind of hear a little bit of a clunk as you go over these gaps in the asphalt, or if you tap the brakes, you would get kind of a clunk in the chassis. But this thing drives amazingly smooth. I mean, especially for 52,000 miles, it is very, very tight. Not, squeaks, rattles. I mean, just really, really nice example of one of these Gran Turismos. We're in the community of Canta right now, so we're not going to rev it or anything. I don't want to make too much noise for the neighbors, but we'll go out away from the houses and just do a quick little acceleration run so that you can see that there's no check engine lights, no problem like if you had an ignition coil that was going out or something, you might get some hesitation through the rev range, but we'll go do that as well. I think I explained in the other video, the interior video, how most of the interior doesn't have any of the stickiness, but then you got little areas that it's starting to show, like between these little phone buttons and like just this one little area on the center console for some reason. But for the most part, this one button is really sticky, but everything around it isn't. So the infamous Ferrari Maserati sticky buttons issue is starting to show itself, but it hasn't got across. We've been in the detailing world for a decade. Anytime a Maserati comes, everything is usually just that super kind of jelly, messy look. So luckily this one hasn't been overtaken like some of the others I've seen in the past. All the interior buttons, or excuse me, interior lights are all functional. You have your garage door opener up here as well. Temperature's dead solid. We've had the car out idling for probably 30 or 45 minutes, and it never goes up. No leaks or anything from the coolant reservoir tank. I know you probably can't tell from the video, but all the shifts are super smooth. There isn't any kind of like juddering or clunking in between shifts. All of the climate control works. Heat and the AC. I had both of those on today. Turn that fan off for the sake of audio. Let's see if we can get a little bit of noise, hopefully, for you. Smooth acceleration, doesn't have any kind of judders or anything throughout the rev range. Obviously no error lights from that. The car makes a wonderful, I don't know if it's going to come through on the camera, but it makes a wonderful noise when you're in the upper end of the RPM range. If you're just kind of wafting around town, it's almost silent. And I'm sure that could be fixed with an aftermarket exhaust if you wanted to go that route, but it's very dual personality in how just silent it is while you're kind of wafting around town. But if you accelerate like that, you get this really exotic Italian kind of snarl from the exhaust note, which is a nice touch. But I've had it on the freeway, it tracks straight, doesn't have any issues with, if you're getting on the brakes from like an off-ramp, doesn't have any undulation in the pedal or anything there. Just a real smooth, turnkey example of Gran Turismo. And these things go for such reasonable money these days. I can't believe how reasonable of a number that these transact at. So somebody is going to get a killer car for not a lot of money, and their good looks and that exhaust note, that never goes out of style. So I'm excited for whoever gets this one out of the Bring a Trailer community. I hope they're an enthusiast as well. I hope they're as excited to get the car as I am to, you know, hand it off to its next steward. So if you've got any questions at all, you want pictures of anything, anything I can help with at all, don't hesitate to reach out. My email is just my first name, Grant, Grant, at renewauto, RENUAUTO.com, or you can call or text me on my personal cell anytime. It's going to be 435-278-8915, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks.